Alright, welcome back to Tikio Takes, and it's now time to give y'all my official UFC 328 predictions. And if I fumble my words, because half my mouth is numb because I have some severe wisdom tooth pain right now. But that's besides the point. So first things first, kicking off the card, we got Clayton Carpenter taking on Jose Achoa. And this is a really close fight, actually. This one took a lot of research to do. Jose Achoa, he's a wild man on the feet. He spams front kicks. I am worried about that. I am going to pick Jose Achoa by round 2 TKO. I am worried though, because Clayton could catch his front kicks and get easy takedowns, tripping his legs while he's holding one. I don't like how he spams a bunch of front kicks, but man, are they powerful. He could cause Clayton to gas out by having good takedown defense and landing to the body quite a bit. Clayton Carpenter, he's kind of he's pretty decent. He's a poor man's Ilya on the feet. You know, he's got that, you know, that traditional Ilya boxing stance. He's pretty fast and he could take some shots. However, he gets touched a lot. Remember that Rocha fight against Clayton Carpenter? He was so hittable on the feet. Luckily, he got his opponent to the ground and submitted him. But Jose Achoa can scramble really well. I mean, we saw that in his fight against Asu Almabayev. He was rolling with him on the ground. Had a couple good guillotine attempts. I think he's going to be able to tag up Clayton Carpenter. Jose Achoa has a tremendous advantage when it comes to finishing potential. I think he's going to get him to the body. I could see kind of like a Susurkaev, like on the Contender Series, where he got that TKO due to a body kick. I kind of see that happening in this fight. I see Clayton gassing out pretty fast. I think he's going to shoot a lot of takedowns to win this fight, and I think he won't get them. He'll start to gas out. Achoa is going to fire kicks to the body, and he has ridiculously good knees. Jose Achoa has tremendous knees, so that's dangerous. You know, if you're a wrestler like Clayton Carpenter, who's gonna have to shoot takedowns to win this fight. I don't think he'll be able to outstrike Jose Achoa. He could tag Achoa because he does keeps his he keeps his hands pretty low, but I think the knees are gonna be a big weapon to the body against Clayton Carpenter. We could see a Hernandez Strickland situation. So I'm ultimately gonna go with Jose Achoa by round 2 TKO due to a body shot. And then next up, we got Baisangur Susurkaev versus Djorden Santos. And you know Chimaev's on the card. If Susurkaev's also on the card, they train together. And I'm going to go with Susurkaev in this fight. Djorden Santos isn't that bad. He's got decent boxing, decent kicks as well. But Susurkaev is really good on the feet, okay? He keeps his hands super low. And Djorden Santos, Susurkaev is going to bait Santos into something. Because Santos does not have good striking defense. I mean, he got jabbed up by Ozzy Diaz. Okay, he got picked apart a little bit on the feet by Ozzy Diaz. So I think Susurkaev's gonna Korean zombie his way to the win. He's gonna bait you to throwing a punch because his hands are low, because his chin is out there. I think he's gonna slime out Djorden Santos with a brutal 1-2. Kind of similar to what he did to Eric McConaughey. And Susurkaev could easily submit Santos, who doesn't have the best of grappling. He's primarily a kickboxer. So I'm struggling to see how Susurkaev loses this fight. Now he kind of can be a slow starter. You can get out early against him, but Djorden Santos isn't that volume guy. Okay, he's your tit for tat kickboxer. Okay. And also, what I don't like about Santos is that if you start winning on the feet against him, he gets very aggressive. He doesn't like it when he starts losing on the feet, and he'll recklessly fire some shots back. And Susurkaev is a great counter striker, great body shots. So I got to go with Susurkaev. I think he'll KO him in the 3rd round. I'm gonna say maybe it's 1-1. Like Santos lands something big on Susurkaev, and Neri gets him out of there in like round 2. But I think in round 3, Santos will start to get a little tired. Susurkaev has decent cardio, so I think he'll KO him with a 1-2. Yeah, I think that's what's gonna happen in this fight. It's a pretty decent fight actually. Djorden Santos, even though he's 1-1 UFC, he's not that bad. I just think that Susurkaev has more ways to win. I think he has a power advantage. He has the speed of. I forgot to mention that Susurkaev is way faster than Santos, so I think he has a lot of advantages, plus the grappling advantage. So I gotta go with Susurkaev. I'm gonna go with round 3 KO for Baisangur Susurkaev. And then next up, we got Pat Sabatini taking on William Gomis. And this is actually a really close fight. I was really leaning towards William Gomis, but I'm gonna have to go with Pat Sabatini in this fight. I mean, Hydra Mule just blockheaded his way towards a win against William Gomis. no respect on the feet against William Gomis, and just repeatedly try to clinch him up, take him down. That's exactly what Pat Sabatini is going to do in this fight, and he's a better striker than Haider Emil, so I'm going to go with Pat Sabatini in this fight. He's got underrated striking. He's pretty fast on the feet, good in and out footwork. He can also throw up some crazy kicks every now and then. The only thing is that William Gomis could land a lot of body shots against Pat Sabatini. He needs to throw body kicks and head kicks. If I'm William Gomis, I'm throwing a lot of body kicks, then going to the head because Pat Sabatini is shorter than him. He could, Makhachev, Volkanovski, with him with the head kicks, starting with the body, then going to the head. So I do fear that for Pat Sabatini in this fight. That is the path of victory for William Gomis, but he's not a finisher. He's just not a finisher. I'm gonna go with Pat Sabatini, who actually has the higher chance to finish him in this fight, because he is such a great grappler. And if he takes down William Gomis, he has a great shot at submitting him. So I like Pat Sabatini in this fight. Going in, I was like, yeah, Gomis could get him with the kicks, but I can't trust someone like William Gomis. Okay, the featherweight Leon Edwards. I can't pick fighters like that. They have such low finish rates, and you can easily push them back against the fence because they don't mind being on the back foot. If William Gomis was this guy that went forward and utilizes decent striking, but he likes to be on the back foot and counter shot you. And I just think Pat Sabatini is going to take the advantage and start to clinch him up. And I think Pat Sabatini is going to get this fight. I don't think he'll submit William Gomis. He's got pretty decent grappling. He could get a few reversals in this fight, but Sabatini on his back is also good. He's also going to be in his wheelhouse. So I'm going to say Pat Sabatini wins this fight by a 30-27 decision. He's just going to blockhead his way forward, just like Haider Emil did. Take him down, avoid the big shots because he is pressuring Gomis against the fence. So I'm going to take Pat Sabatini by unanimous decision, 30-27. And then we got Roman Kopylov, okay, the guy that was going to beat Adesanya a couple years ago, taking on Marco Tulio. This is a close fight. I'm going to go Tulio, though. First, I was leaning towards Kopylov because he's got more experience. He's fought the better guys, but Marco Tulio has a higher chance of finishing Kopylov. I think he's more powerful than Kopylov. Only thing Kopylov may have is better kicks, but Marco Tulio has really solid boxing, and he's not afraid to take you down. That's something about Marco Tulio. He will take you down if he's struggling on the feet a little bit. And I like that against Kopylov, who doesn't have the greatest of grappling and can be dominant on the ground. So I definitely like Marco Tulio in this fight because he has more options. Just like Pat Sabatini, he might be able to outstrike William Gomis. Unlikely, but he can take you down as well. So I like options when it comes to predicting these fights. So I gotta go Tulio, who did pretty decent against Christian Leroy Duncan, who is like the second coming of John Jones in middleweight. Okay, if you know, you know. But CLD is really good, and Tulio was with him in that fight. Then he got finished because he got hurt by a spinning back fist. You know, it's hard to see those coming, and then he got follow-up shots after that. But Tulio is really good. I like him in this fight. Decent grappling, a solid stand-up. Kopylov's a pure striker that he doesn't have the most power. Definitely not his punches. He's got really good kicks, but I'm going to trust in the boxing Marco Tulio. I think he'll outstrike Kopylov. Maybe he finishes him. I'm going to say Tulio gets it done by decision. I think Marco Tulio will beat Roman Kopylov by 29-28 decision. Maybe Kopylov gets him a big head kick in like the second or first round. But I think Marco Tulio will outstrike him, land a few takedowns, and cruise to a 29-28 decision. And then our next fight is a good one. Jim Miller versus Jared Gordon. These are two fighters I really like, especially Jared Gordon, who's been doing amazing lately. And he only lost his last fight because he got hit by a car the day before the fight. Torres I think it was his MCO, and still fought and did really good against Rafa Garcia. Did well in the boxing, even threw that leg a lot to the leg of Garcia. So I reckon a healthy Jared Gordon maybe beats Rafa Garcia. I don't know. Garcia's a really good fighter, but that's pretty impressive though. But he's taking on Jim Miller, great grappler, and also has developed grown man power as he's gotten older. I'm going to go with Jared Gordon this fight. This one was tough to predict, but the more I thought about it, I was just like, why do I picture Jim Miller doing his little hop into his 1-2 and just getting countered by a straight right from Jared Gordon? Am I the only one that could just see that? Let me demonstrate for y'all. Yeah, this is Jim Miller. okay, into his 1-2. Why can't I see, he's doing his little hop, raises that leg, and then he goes into his 1-2. Why can't I see Jared Gordon just, I visualize these things. Okay, look at that. I visualize these things. I'm Irish. But, yeah, I see Jared Gordon countering Jim Miller for a straight right and putting him out. And I hope that doesn't happen because I love Jim Miller. I don't want to see him finish, but I think Jared Gordon's going to put him out because Jared Gordon has some power. He's been finishing guys lately. He took out Moises, was outboxing Bobby Green before he turned into the Rhino. So I got to go with Jared Gordon this fight. I think he's going to counter Jim Miller. Jared Gordon also has decent grappling. Has been submitted by a few guys, but overall he's good at scrambling. And Jim Miller he doesn't take guys down. The absolute scrubs of the lightweight division is who he submits at this point in his career. Obviously, prime Jim Miller, submits, great fighters. But lately, the guys Jim Miller's been submitting have been absolute scrubs. And then we saw Chase Miller out-grapple him. So I think Jared Gordon's going to do just fine when it comes to the grappling Jim Miller. And I think he's going to put him out in the second round with a brutal right hand. We got Grant Dawson taking on Mateusz Rebecki. This is a good fight. This is decent matchmaking right here. My heart says Grant Dawson. My brain says Mateusz Rebecki. I'm going to go with my brain this one. I'm going to go with Mateusz Rebecki. This is a really close fight because it's like, if Grant Dawson gets this fight to the ground, it's over. If it stays on the feet, then it's over for Dawson, in my opinion, because I think Grant Dawson, he's kind of a victim on the feet, I'll be honest. Okay, I know that's coming from an untrained guy, me saying that, but anytime this guy goes against a good striker, which has been often in UFC, he loses, okay? I remember vividly Leonardo Santos beating Grant Dawson and then, got killed in the final second of the fight, okay? Bobby Green KO'd him with a jab, and Manuel Torres tore through him like it was nothing. Anytime he goes against a decent striker, he loses. And Mateusz Rebecki is a pretty decent guy. He's been in some absolute wars lately, so that does worry me. Maybe if Grant Dawson puts him out, I honestly would be surprised because of the damage Rebecki's took, but I'm going to trust Rebecki in this fight. I know I shouldn't pick him, but both these guys are hard to pick. Both these guys I wouldn't, pick most of the time. But Rebecki is short. And I kind of like that against Grant Dawson. He has to get into a much lower stance to be able to take Rebecki down. Rebecki's also very stocky. He's got a short reach. So I like the takedown defense there. He's stuck in an underhook. With the 66-inch reach, he's basically stuck in an underhook. So I think he'll defend the early takedowns of Grant Dawson. And I think Grant Dawson is going to throw naked kicks as he always does. And Rebecki's going to catch him with a right hook. That is my official prediction. I think in round one, Grant Dawson shoots a few takedowns, doesn't get them, and then it goes to open into the feet. And he throws a body kick or a head kick nakedly, or maybe he throws a naked leg kick. Boom, right hook. It's over for Grant Dawson. I think Mateusz Rebecki is going to return to form and KO Grant Dawson. And, or he just gets taken down and Grant Dawson subs him. But I think my version is what's going to happen. I think Grant Dawson is going to throw a naked leg kick and Rebecki's going to get him with a right hook in the first round and win by KO. And then the next fight is a really good fight, let me tell y'all. Joel Alvarez versus Yaroslov Amosov. Who do I pick in this fight? This is so close. I mean, Joel Alvarez is nearly a 2-1 favorite. I think that's kind of crazy. This is a very close fight. So I'll talk myself into this prediction because right now I don't know. Joel Alvarez was one of the brightest prospects a couple years ago, but he's had injury after injury, and he's been out of the cage for a while. And then I want to say late last year he fought Vicente Luque, beat him up for 3 rounds. He had Luque curl up into a ball, Anthony Smith style, and looked pretty good. Was able to outstrike Luque and outgrappled him as well. Showed brutal ground and pound. His only loss in the UFC, I believe, is to Arman Tsarukyan, which can't blame him. And then Amosov was a former Bellator champion until he lost to Jason Jackson. And then he just recently joined the UFC and submitted Neil Magny. So pretty impressive from him to submit Neil Magny. I think Joel Alvarez is going to keep this one on the feet. These tall guys, especially one that's not weak anymore like it was a lightweight. This is a 170. Joel Alvarez is not cutting as much weight. This is his second fight at welterweight, so even better for him. These tall guys are so hard to take down. And Amosov's a great grappler, but I think he's going to struggle to take Alvarez down. Joel Alvarez, I think, could reverse some of the takedowns and land some brutal ground and pound against Amosov, who is more of a submission guy. I think Amosov may take him down a few times, and he's gonna jump for submission. I think they'll cause him to lose position, and Joe Alvarez will land some brutal ground and pound and actually win the grappling exchanges. Even on the feet, he's a better striker. He's got more power on the feet. He's got really good calf kicks. I can see him taking out the legs of Amosov easily, and he's got a decent jab. And I could just see him pulling a right hand out of Amosov and countering with a left hook. So I think Joe Alvarez will win by decision. I don't think he'll KO Amosov. I think he'll win on damage. I think Amosov will get some control time on Alvarez, but overall, I think Joe Alvarez will reverse a few positions, land some brutal elbows, jab him up on the feet, cause a couple cuts on Amosov, and I think Alvarez will win on damage. It'll be a very close fight, maybe a split decision, but I think Joe Alvarez will edge out this one because this man's only going to get better. 33 years old, a young 33. Okay, he's been in UFC for a while, hasn't had the most of fights, so I think he's gonna get better each fight we see from him. And it was good he went 3 rounds with Vicente Luque. He was just slamming out guys in a couple minutes earlier, and after being out for a while to go 3 rounds, I think that was good for him. I think he's gonna have a good fight against Amosov and win by a 29-28 decision. And then the prelim headliner, we got Ateba Gautier taking on Ozzy Diaz, and Ozzy Diaz is gonna win this fight until he doesn't. Okay. I think Ateba Gautier is going to win by a 30-27 decision. I think Ozzy Diaz is going to win for like 3 minutes of the fight, and then the 4th minute, boom, gets rocked, gets knocked down by Ateba Gautier. I think that's how this fight's going to go. Okay, Gautier is probably going to get jabbed up in this fight. Ozzy Diaz has a really good jab, but Ozzy Diaz does not have the power to finish Ateba Gautier. And Ateba could go for the takedowns in this fight, get some control time on Diaz. So, look, we saw, obviously, Gautier's human in his last fight. He couldn't finish the guy. Still, basically what I just described is what happened in his last fight. He was getting jabbed up, and then he just landed a big shot and almost knocked out the guy. I think this is going to be the exact same fight. Just another very solid 3-round experience for him. I think it was also good for him to go 3 rounds his last fight. Very early in his career, only 24. It's good to do that now. Learn from it, improve on the cardio. I just wonder how much longer he's going to be at 185. I mean, he could easily be a 205er someday. So I think his cardio will be better this fight. Instead of gassing out, midway through the 2nd round, he might gas out like midway through the 3rd round. So I think he'll be fine cardio-wise in this fight. He's gonna hurt Ozzy Diaz a few times, who likes the box. He's going to put himself in positions to where Gautier can counter him because he loves his jab and 1-2. So Gautier is going to land, and he's going to hurt Ozzy Diaz. Ozzy's not going to be able to hurt Gautier. So I'm going to go with Ateba Gautier by a 30-27 decision. And then opening up the main card, we have a really fun one. Bobby Green versus Jeremy Stephens. I'm not calling him King Green. There's only one king. This might be the hardest fight to predict on the entire card. I'm not even joking, because this fight only goes 2 ways. Bobby Green outstrikes him for 3 rounds, or Jeremy Stephens knocks him out, because Bobby Green has no chin. It's just tough because Jeremy's gonna land on Bobby. Can Bobby take it? But he's such a better striker than Jeremy Stephens. Jeremy was able to almost come back against Mason Jones, rocked him in round 3. God, it just sucks because if he lands on Bobby Green, it's over. I hate that. I hate that so much. Bobby Green pieced up Jim Miller, but then every time Jim Miller landed on him, he got rocked. I'm going to say he survives. I'm going to say this is going to be very similar to the Jim Miller fight. Bobby Green is piecing up Jeremy Stephens, but boom, round 2. Gets dropped, almost gets finished, but he survives, okay? And I also think Bobby Green's going to shoot more takedowns, just like he did against Daniel Zellhuber. I don't think he's afraid to grapple anymore, and I kind of dig that. I think he's going to break up the pace of Jeremy Stephens by shooting in some takedowns like he did against Daniel in his last fight. So I got to lean towards Bobby. He's a better fighter than Jeremy Stephens, just Jeremy has crazy power. Bobby has no chin. And I usually always go with the guy who has the better power. Like, the best example is Beneil Dariush versus Quillen Salkid. Now, if Dariush had a good chin, you gotta go with Beneil Dariush. But the thing is, he doesn't have a chin, so everyone's picking Quillen Salkid for that reason. Because if he lands one shot on Beneil Dariush, it's over. And that was the correct pick. But do I do that here? No, I'm gonna go with Bobby Green. He's gonna outstrike Jeremy Stephens. I'm not confident in this one, y'all. And then up the main card, this might actually be the hardest pick on the card. This is very similar to Bobby Green versus Jeremy Stephens. Goes one of two ways. Joaquin Buckley KOs Brady, or Brady outgrapples him. Joaquin Buckley got absolutely dominated by Kamaru Usman with the grappling in his last fight. And Sean Brady just got totally destroyed by Michael Morales, which the whole division has been destroyed by him, so it's not that too bad of a loss. But Sean Brady is also the same guy. They got TKO'd on feet by Bilal Muhammad. So with that reason, I'm going to go with Joaquin Buckley in this fight. Also, not a very confident pick for me. I'm actually going with the underdog here, I believe. I'm going to go Buckley in this fight. I think he's the type of guy that once he realizes he has a weakness, he's going to work tirelessly at fixing it. He's even training with Kamaru Usman now. I love that. I think that's going to help him. Training with the guy that just, basically exposed him. And I think Kamaru's doing that because I actually believe the rumors. I think he'll fight Dricus du Plessis. I think they'll make that fight 85, and then Imavov will be saved for the winner of Strickland Chimaev. He'll probably be the backup. Imavov will be a backup of this fight. So I do believe those rumors that Kamaru will fight Dricus. I'd love to see that fight. But I think Kamaru's doing that because he is leaving the welterweight division. I'm going to go Joaquin Buckley because he has finishing potential. This is the same guy that knocked out Wonderboy, okay? This dude has mean hooks. He's also dynamic. He can throw head kicks, some spinning kicks. He can't throw too many kicks against Brady, or else Brady will catch him and take him down. But I think Buckley's going to go with the head with the kicks. I think he's going to spam head kicks. That's what I would do if I'm fighting Sean Brady. Because, imagine fighting a wrestler with a broken hand. Or, a broken forearm, That the fight's won at that point. Unless it's Yuri Solberg. But yeah, I'm going to go Buckley. He can hurt Brady. I don't think Brady can hurt Buckley. Buckley has a pretty decent chin. And I think Buckley's going to be in a much lower stance this fight. He's going to fight for those underhooks more than he did against Kamaru Usman. He's going to learn a lot from training with Usman. And Buckley's the same guy that defended takedowns against Colby and destroyed him. Reversed him, landed some ground and pound. We can't forget that. Now, it's a wash version of Colby. Big layoff. Short notice Colby too. But Buckley's a guy that stuffed the takedowns of Colby. I think he's going to do the same thing as Sean Brady. I think he's going to not be backed up like he was against Usman. He's going to go forward, throw some head kicks, land some good boxing combinations. He's going to defend the takedowns against Brady in the open and reverse him a couple times, land some good ground and pound. I think he'll get him out of there in round 3. I'm going to go Joaquin Buckley by round 3 KO. Or TKO. I'm going to say TKO. I think Brady's going to be tired by the 3rd round from shooting so many takedowns unsuccessfully. I think he's going to get beat up by Buckley. Maybe Buckley breaks Brady's arm with the amount of head kicks he's going to throw. I think he's going to do it. I think he's going to throw a lot of head kicks. You should against wrestlers, just to keep their hands occupied. It's better there than being down here, So I'm going to Joaquin Buckley. This could age horribly. He could just be out grappled and humiliated, just like he was against Usman. Brady has, the ability to do that. But I'm gonna trust the Joaquin Buckley here. He's one of my favorite fighters. I love Joaquin, and hopefully he gets this one done. And then the feature fight of UFC 328 is Alexander Volkov versus Waldo Cortes-Acosta in a heavyweight bout. I'm gonna throw a curveball here, no pun intended. I'm going with Waldo. I think he's gonna Jailton Almeida Max and lay on top of Volkov. I think that's what's gonna happen. Volkov does not have good takedown defense. Got taken out repeatedly by Curtis Blades, Jailton Almeida. He has good offensive grappling, but he does not have good defensive grappling. And Waldo showed against Robelos of Spain that he is willing to have a boring fight. He is willing to blob max on a opponent. I think he'll do that against Volkov. Volkov is a very good striker. He could hurt him on the feet, but I think Waldo is going to come forward, just keep it simple of 1-2s, try to kick the legs of Volkov, and I think he's going to clinch him up and make this boring. I think Waldo's going to make this very boring. I think it's going to be a sucky fight, but I think Waldo's going to win because of it. Now, hopefully that's not what happens. Maybe Waldo KOs him. That would be awesome. If Volkov wins, that would be awesome. But that's my official prediction for this fight. I'm leaning towards a very boring win for Waldo Cortes-Acosta here. I can't shake that feeling for whatever reason. Just when I picture this fight, it only ends in one way, and that's Waldo just laying on top of Volkov, kind of like what Volkov did to Tuivasa. Yeah, that'd be unfortunate. That's what happens in this fight. It just sucks because Volkov should have got a title shot. He beat Ciryl Gane. I'm saying this about Volkov, man. He beat Ciryl Gane. I don't know, man. I think Waldo's just a smart fighter. I think he's going to keep it simple on the feet, throw some 1-2s, leg kicks, take him down. I think that's a game plan to beat Volkov. I'm just worried about the body front kicks from Volkov. Those are going to do some damage against the little bit of blubber, you know, Cortez has. So that's my only concern for this fight. But I'm pretty confident Waldo's going to win by a very boring 29-28 decision. And then the co-main event of UFC 328 is Joshua Van defending his flyweight title against Tatsuro Taira. This is a tremendous fight, and these guys are super young, so I mean, we'll probably see this fight again, no matter the outcome of it. So flyweight's looking pretty good right now with these two at the helm of the division. I'm gonna go with Joshua Van this fight. I think he'll win by decision. I think he's going to stuff the takedowns of Tatsuro Taira. Joshua Van has tremendous takedown defense. He showed that in so many of his fights. And he's got so much power at flyweight. He's also short. It's going to have to make Tatsuro Taira go lower than he normally does. And that could leave him open for an uppercut, shots to the body, and the clinch. I really like Joshua Van in this fight. Like I say, his great takedown defense. He's just a much better striker than Tatsuro Taira, who... got, you know, outstruck by Brandon Royval, and we saw Joshua Van was able to weather the storm against Royval and land the more powerful shots. And Joshua Van, he's smart. He goes forward. He knows his strengths. He's the 125 Peter Yan. Downloads data early in the fight, and then he unloads. Great body shots, great boxing combinations. Tatsuro Taira has some good kicks, but he's got no hands, and he doesn't move his head. So I have to go with Joshua Van in this fight. He's going to win based off damage. Tatsuro Taira will take his back in this fight, but that'll be the only success he has with the grappling. I think round 3, it's going to get very scary for Joshua Van. Tatsuro Taira is going to control the whole round on his back against the cage. But I just think Van's going to win on damage. And he's so smart, has great takedown defense. I'm struggling to see how Tatsuro wins this fight without just straight up submitting him, which is a possibility. But I don't think it's going to happen. I think Joshua Van's going to win this fight, and then we get him against Pantoja later in the year, and then the winner of Cap and Horiguchi gets the next title shot. So flyweight's cooking right now. I think Joshua Van's going to remain champion. And we reached the main event, y'all. Khamzat Chimaev for Sean Strickland. I cannot wait for this to be over so that I can reapply some numbness, because man, it is hard to talk right now. But I'm going to go with Khamzat Chimaev in this fight. I think he'll submit Sean Strickland, and it's so hard to talk right now. I think he's going to... I'm sounding like Murd during that one challenge where he had his whole mouth numbed and he had to pronounce different foods from different countries. But I'm going to go with Chimaev by a round 2 submission. That right there. This. Sean's going to lose the fight because of it. I know in his training camp he's going to work on not doing it. But he's had the same style his whole career. He's going to throw up that front kick to the body. Khamzat's going to grab it. He may not do it in the first round. But mark my words, in the second round, Khamzat's going to grab that leg, take him down. And Sean Strickland is not a chain grappler. That's what it takes to wrestle with Khamzat. You need a guy like Susurkaev, you know, Marab, those kind of guys that don't just take you down, but they move with you, okay? Dricus Du Plessis had the best shot in this division at doing that with Chimaev, and even he couldn't do it. It took him till the 5th round to be able to do that. Sean Strickland is going to work on cage, like working his way up from the cage. That's not what you do when you're fighting Chimaev. It's when you're training to fight a guy like Chimaev, like Makhachev, it's got to be as soon as you get taken down, moving with him, okay? Changing positions, not just immediately, you know, just trying to get back up to your feet. It's like, I don't know how to describe it, but it's just different. I think y'all get what I'm trying to say. Like, if Susurkaev was fighting Khamzat, this fight would be way closer, because Susurkaev knows how to just move with a guy trying to wrestle him. It's just different. It's not fair. Chimaev also has good striking. He's going to have more power than Strickland on the feet. Chimaev's got some heat in his hands. He's got great 1-2. He has a great calf kick. I don't think that matters against Sean Strickland because he constantly lifts up his lead leg. But yeah, Khamzat has good stand up too. Great front kick to the body. He's going to go forward against Strickland. I don't know, man. I don't know if Sean wins this fight. Unless Khamzat grapples, but he just went 5 rounds with Dricus. I know he didn't try to hurt Dricus in that fight, but I don't see. I mean, he just showed he went 5 rounds. That was a reason a lot of people went with Dricus because of the cardio concerns. But I don't know how Sean wins this fight. Maybe y'all can let me know in the comments. But in my opinion, Khamzat's just gonna take him down and probably get him with an arm triangle or something. Because I don't think Strickland's gonna give him his back. Maybe he does, but. Maybe we'll finally see the elite jiu-jitsu Sean Strickland everyone talks about. Maybe we'll see that. The elite grappling from Sean Strickland. Okay? Maybe we'll see the Sean Strickland that's in that, United States, wrestling attire. Maybe maybe we'll finally see it here. But, Dricus took down Sean Strickland. Kamaru Usman, I know it was years ago. Kamaru Usman out-grappled Sean Strickland. Khamzat's going to finish him. I'm sorry that's boring. Maybe y'all were expecting me to be like Sean Strickland. Hold on now. I don't know. Maybe he makes it to the 4th round. Khamzat again. No. Khamzat round 2 submission. I'm sorry that's a boring pick, but at least I threw some other curveballs, okay? I know like Volkov's a favorite against Waldo. I picked Waldo. I picked Joaquin Buckley to beat Sean Brady. I'm pretty sure Buckley's an underdog. So I try to pick some underdogs on this card when I see fit, but I just don't see it in this fight. But I'd love to know what you guys think in the comments, and if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, subscribe, and yeah, those are my official predictions for UFC 328. I'm really looking forward to this card. It is a stacked card. Realize this while making this prediction video. This is a really stacked card, so shout out to the UFC for booking this one up. But yeah, thank you all for watching, and God bless you all.